Association with FuzzJock Radio Productions does not endorse, approve, or have insider knowledge about sports, sports betting, or any beneficial knowledge whatsoever. FuzzJock cannot be held responsible for personal decisions made up to and including sports betting, alcoholism, pregnancy, and or stock choices. Listening to FuzzJock Radio has been found to cause cancer in the state of California. Side effects include mood swings, hot flashes, cold flashes, and dizziness. If listening to FuzzJock Radio for more than 4 hours, please consult with a mortician. FuzzJock Radio is proudly produced by prison labor in the People's Republic of Transnistria.
Отправьте помощь, оказавшись в ловушке в студии подкастов.
FuzzJock Radio.
I don't know if I could do that in front of my husband's mom.
The question is, what will break his heart first?
The nerves is where it's at.
This is going to be a bad thing for him.
She's been on social media a lot. Now you're thinking, okay, so we all have to register to vote. We're all suddenly Democrats.
She yells the F-bomb.
I think the commissioner set this up.
His new relationship with Taylor Swift or the COVID shot?
She's going to dump him anyway. His mouth like a teamster. That's it. Either way.
Kelsey said that everybody in the booth that she was sitting in, his family, everybody said that she was so lovely.
Here you have Taylor Swift, probably just met Travis Kelce's mom for the first time. They're at the game last week, and she's going, let's effing go.
Let's effing go. Yeah. Yeah. That's what
Man, those people are salty.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just the way it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know who those people are, a bunch of nobodies.
Thank you, audience. Appreciate it. Woo. Yeah, let's effing go.
Let's effing go.
Are you talking to me?
Oh,
yeah, we're talking to you.
We're talking to you, and talking to the audience, and talking to sea.dubbz, and talking to everybody around that's
right here.
currently listening to us. We are, by the way, FuzzJock Radio. We are a Taylor Swift podcast. No, wait. That's a bit later on. We are a let me do that again. We're FuzzJock Radio, and we are a Taylor Swift podcast. No, got that wrong again, sea.dubbz. We're not.
Is it really wrong?
You know what? I don't think it is.
No.
You know, if people enjoy something like a Taylor Swift, you should let them enjoy it. You shouldn't just, go ahead and berate them for enjoying something because you don't enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy a Taylor Swift, maybe you are the one that needs to look at yourself and correct things, because a Taylor Swift is, like we said last week, is a pretty neat thing to have in your life. Right?
Yeah.
Is that
Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem. It's you.
It could be you. But if you listen to FuzzJock Radio, it's probably not you, because you're one of our Hess along with all of us.
Because you're a Swiftie and a FuzzJocker.
Yeah. We're all human around here.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself.
So we are FuzzJock Radio. We are not a Taylor Swift podcast, but we have positive affinity towards Taylor Swift, and we talk about sports and life. And my name is Fuzzy, and we have a Hest all the way out in California, and their name is
sea.dubbz.
And then we have another Hest to my left, and I forgot to ask you what your name was. You can hold on. You can make it up.
I know. I actually thought about that.
The audience has no idea who you are.
Yeah, I thought about it. Before I came here, I was like, I could be anyone I want to be.
Yeah, you can. And if you make it up, there's a big chance that I'm going to slip up and say the wrong name.
Oh, okay. So that's pressure on both of us then.
Yeah, it's fun.
So on my drive here, I was thinking maybe I want to be an Obama today.
You're an Obama?
No. Then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I thought maybe a homage to Wayne's World, and I could be, handsome Dan from Wayne's World.
You are handsome.
Then I thought, no. But then I thought you could just call me by my name. Is that a Taylor Swift song lyric, or am I making that up?
Is it?
It's probably ABBA or something.
That's one.
Yeah, I mean, she has a lot of songs.
Yeah, I know. Her discography is thick.
You know what else is thick? The atmosphere in this room right now.
Whoa.
Is that a thing you can say? Is that something you can cut it with a knife, right? So that's who this is.
Cut it with a lawnmower.
And my name is Fuzzy, and okay, yeah, we'll just go on. So, we are here, and we like to start the podcast off with how our week has been, and I still don't know how to refer to you, though.
You could just call me Dan.
Dan.
I mean, easy enough. Simple name. 3 letters. Doesn't have to be crazy. World's biggest Swiftie. maybe.
Oh.
No, you don't need to call me that either. Just Dan. Dan's good.
Spectacular Dan?
Sure. I mean, if you want to throw some adjectives
Dan.
there. Yeah, spectacular Dan. It might be a mouthful,
Maybe,
but go ahead.
maybe we'll work with it. How
Okay.
about that?
Okay.
Let's work with it, sea.dubbz. Can we work with it? The base.
We can work with that. We can work with anything.
The base is Dan. Okay. I feel like we're playing secret password now. The base, the name, the word, the secret word is Dan.
Dan.
And then let's expunge upon that. Okay.
Deuce.
And so whenever you
You
hear
could
the
also
word
do
Dan
deuce.
tonight, you need to jump out of your seat and scream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
Secret word.
Oh boy. Okay. I think we're starting the podcast off pretty good, right?
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see
Classic
Dan?
start.
Can you see classic Dan?
I see. Oh, classic Dan.
Classic
I do
Dan.
see classic Dan. Classic Dan. It is
Okay.
for me at least. I'm gonna go with classic.
And if you can't see us, FuzzJockers, don't worry. We are just a audio podcast. We break cameras if we turn them on. Or I
Mostly
do.
because we dropped them, but still.
Yeah, I do anyway. Yeah, I remember that time that I dropped a camera for that professional.
I
camera
just
guy?
remembered that actually as you said that.
Yeah, that was not fun. That was
Let's not. Hey, so how was my week? Let's see
That
here.
was-
My week was.
That was a $1,200 lens that he allowed me to pay only $600 to replace it. So that was nice. That was nice of him. But we are not a photography podcast. Let's talk about our weeks. sea.dubbz, how was your week? What's going on?
My week was good. I got some new records over the weekend. Then I had a buddy come over and we listened to some records. And so a lot of music in my life last week. I've been enjoying the musics. I got Close to the Edge by Yes, which is like one of the best prog rock albums of all time. So I've been enjoying that. Along with many others.
Commander Dan, how's your
Workshop.
Have we ever had you on as a guest?
No,
Okay.
not from here. No.
So you know the routine. You listen to
Yes, sir.
you listen to the podcast.
Yep.
You are a FuzzJocker.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm. Yep.
He and Dan is actually wearing a FuzzTalkRadio hoodie right now, which makes me really happy.
Unprompted.
Some people might be like, man, you know, it's like wearing a shirt to a. Do you know that rule?
Yeah, the shirt to a concert of the band.
Is
Yeah.
is that what's going on?
No. I wanted to show as much respect to the art of the podcast as I could. I love this sweatshirt. I
long as you're
purchased
not
it of my
being-
own free will.
As long as you're not being a lame. Is
yeah.
lame an okay term to use?
It depends.
No, probably not. I don't. Probably not.
I gotta say, well, I want to say one thing. The rule for the T-shirt thing though works only if they're major or a big band. So you know, if you're independent or
Independent
indie,
band?
you can totally wear their shirt. Or if they're the opener, but still, this is an indie broadcast radio station.
True.
So you can totally wear that all the time.
So speaking of which, just
Okay.
earlier today, Foo Fighters announced a show at Target Field next summer. So
Yep.
I can't wear a Foo Fighter shirt to Target Field.
No.
Gotcha. Okay, I want to know where the line's
yeah,
at.
Yeah. Okay. That's the line.
Okay.
You could wear a Nirvana shirt.
Ooh, yeah, could. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
What about well, no, because a lot of people have that. I was gonna say a band tattoo. Like, I don't know.
No,
if
that's
it was,
cool.
Well, you can't take your tattoo off.
Yeah, I know,
I mean,
but-
you can, but you can't. Not for a day. You wanna keep that on.
exactly.
But don't go out and rush to the stage, jump on stage, and go, "Look, it's my tattoo that I got."
That would
don't
be
do
the
that.
same as wearing a Foo Fighter shirt to a Foo Fighter show, as if you
I
jumped
think-
on the stage and flashed your tattoos everywhere.
To be honest, I think wearing the Foo Fighter shirt would be worse.
Worse.
Yeah. So there
I
you
agree.
go. Are you going to a Foo Fighter shirt show?
No,
soon?
it was just announced this morning. Pre-sale doesn't even go on sale until tomorrow. But Foo Fighters has always been like a bucket list band for me. I love Foo Fighters. I love everything about Foo Fighters. I was gonna say anytime they play in Minneapolis or Minnesota in general, I was gonna hit up that show.
So we didn't get to like I don't even know how we got here, but how
we here?
Yeah, we are. And what have you been doing since the last time. So, like, the FuzzJockers don't know who you are at all.
Right.
And you can let's let Dan, Epic
Classic Dan.
No, Epic Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Epic Dan, tell us about your life since you haven't been here before. You know, from the very beginning of
birth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. See, you know how this works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you can fast forward if you want.
Well, born 10:06 p.m. Manuel St. Joseph's Hospital, but fast forwarded.
Wow, that's some doxing there.
Yeah. No, exactly. I don't think
I
that
know where to
hospital
go with my
exists
time
anymore,
machine.
actually. So
No, actually, it doesn't. So
yeah. So I think it might be okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's not a whole lot of things that are like extremely interesting. Lately, just the past week, I've been to an apple orchard. I was at First Ave last night, actually. That was fun.
What does doing apple orchard mean?
No, I'm sorry. I lied. I was at a pumpkin patch, not an apple orchard, but I was trying to do fall things.
What are you?
I get that.
What are you doing here?
I know.
Like you're throwing
I combine the
wrenches
two,
in the monkeys.
and then a local
means.
apple orchard is closing on us, and it's making everyone sad, and so that's what it got.
There's a local apple orchard closing?
Yeah, I don't. Can I dox that, or can I not? Can I say the name or no?
Sure.
Emma Crumby's.
Emma Crumby's is
Oh!
closing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was just announced. The actual restaurant's been closed for like a year, but now they're closing off all the trees.
Oh, man.
And get this,
They're
Fuzzy.
closing off the trees, sea.dubbz. What does that mean?
Shut down the trees.
They're leveling the trees to build a $4 million police station.
No, boo. Uh-oh, he's going to explode.
I know.
What?
Yeah, I've yet to know what the Belle Plaine community thinks about it. But
What an amazing thing for that to happen. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder how that community feels.
I don't know. Probably not great.
I know how I feel.
Tell us.
Well, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about like how your week's been.
Oh yeah.
You went to a pumpkin patch.
I just want to say quick.
Oh,
they should have
man.
unplugged the trees and just moved them aside. They shouldn't have cut them down. That's bullshit.
Right.
Are they leveling them?
It's as far as I
Are
know.
they or they
I don't want to say
transplanting?
anything wrong.
Okay, I suppose you don't know because you're not part of this whole fucking ordeal.
I would not put my fingers in that.
Man, what a way to start this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing we have amazing Dan here to tell us what's going on.
Sorry for the negative
Dan-tastic
Apple Orchard news. Dantastic. That was my old MySpace name.
Emma Crumby's is getting leveled for a police station.
How was your week, Fuzz? Now that you've heard that news.
Up until now, I was gonna say something. I had a certain way of living. I was up until now. Like, why did you say that, Dan?
I just want to come here, just being the current events guy. Like, you just keep you updated.
Fuzz. You need to slow down. Your dog is okay. Your cats are peeing in her bed, but that's okay because we're throwing that bed away. And everything's going to be fine. We're a sports podcast.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of Taylor Swift to talk about.
Sure do.
My week has been good, sea.dubbz. And we're going to be calm and collected here. And we're not going to get too overwhelmed with the news of Emma Crumby's being leveled for a police station. Let's move on.
Let's play some roulette.
Not play roulette. Let's see what the roulette.
Right.
Let's see what the roulette wants us to talk about next. Oh my goodness, is that working? No, wrong button. There it is. Wow. We're not going to talk about Emma Crumby's being closed by a police station. Okay, we're going to talk about.
Are you ready for some football?
Some football. Okay. Whew. Good. We got past that.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we're all good now. Mm-hmm.
So football. Good news. The Vikings won. They're not.
They did it.
They're not 0-4. They would have been 0-4. They're 1-3. Is that right?
Right. I guess that's how Minnesotans count.
Because there's 4. I mean, I suppose we have 4 episodes. We have the 4 games. No, we had a bye there, didn't we?
No.
Not yet.
We haven't had a bye.
Not yet.
Oh, I thought we already had a bye. But
No,
but
we did
didn't.
not.
Okay, so we have.
Nope.
How was the game, guys? So like, do we want to talk about the game much? Like what?
Ooh. Let's see here. Carolina. They're terrible. And then we looked like we were worse than them for a long time.
Aren't they the worst team in football?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No?
Well, they're one of them.
They're one of them for sure.
There's one of the four. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
So.
Right there with.
But we were also one of them too.
Because there was 4 teams that had that were 0-3. Is that correct?
I believe so. Maybe 5 at the time, but we won, so now there's only 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so since they're the worst, the Vikings won handedly, right? Kirk Cousins looked like the super dog Kirk that he is supposed to be, with the big jewels around his neck and stuff. And Justin Jefferson was the hot wide receiver. And I just remembered Thielen, our old player, is. Oh, let's talk about. Thielen left the team, so he's on the Carolina team now. We'll talk about him in a little bit, but like the Vikings look great, right? Like it was just like the best.
It
game
wasn't
ever,
a
right?
handed victory by any means. It was more of a Thielen revenge game.
For real?
Yeah.
So should we talk about Thielen then?
He was getting kind of angry.
I mean, if it weren't for a defensive touchdown that turned the game around, yeah, I'd basically say Thielen was the highlight of the game.
Yeah.
Or not highlight, but the main factor.
Right. Yeah. He wanted to. He had some bad blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah, he had some bad blood.
Was mad?
Yeah.
Because he can't be Mr. Minnesota anymore.
Yeah.
They were calling him Mr. Mankato for a while. You know that?
Yeah, it was kind of cool to have that accolade, but I mean, I guess we just couldn't afford him.
Yeah, I mean, move on, guy. I'm Mr. Mankato, so.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you take that.
Yeah, it can only be one.
I had that crown until he decided to say that it was him, and then I'm like, no, it's not you. Get out of my town. And then he moved up to the cities to be with the Vikings, and then they're still calling him Mr. Mankato, so I'm like, no. And then he moved to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Even worse, he's not even from Mankato. He just went to school here.
I know.
What a jerk.
But he makes
Taking your
Mankato
crown.
famous, which is cool.
That's true. Just like that dog.
Just like that song.
If there is solace from that Panthers-Vikings game, is that, well, obviously we had the W, but we're still 1 game out from a wild card spot right now. If the season ended today, we're 2 games away
That's
from
true.
leading the division.
Jesus, that's bad.
Well, even so, I mean, think if we're, week 15, there's 2 weeks left in the season. If we were a game back from wild card, we'd be thrilled.
That just shows
true.
That a short season means a lot.
Yeah.
Or like every game means more than, a 182 game season. And like baseball's like 182 games, right?
162, but yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear some fun facts about the Vikings?
Absolutely.
So
Please.
after yesterday's game, no, was that yesterday? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Vikings are -8 in the turnover differential. So our turnovers that we benefited from minus the turnovers that we did not benefit from is -8. It's actually not the worst in the league. -9 is the worst in the league. But our points for versus points against, we've scored 90 points and we've had 95 scored against us. So it's only 5 points. And we've had 8 turnovers. If one of those turnovers didn't happen and it led to a drive that resulted in a touchdown, we would have a positive point differential.
Interesting. Huh. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So fumbles have been ruining the Vikings for the past 4 weeks and will probably continue to ruin the Vikings for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, it's not good right now with the fumbles.
That's Mr. Kirk for you, right?
Oddly
Or
enough,
is it
too,
everybody else?
Kirk's one of the leading passing leaders in the league. Jefferson's one of the receiving leaders of the league, and Hawkinson is the top tight end of the league. So 1-3, with that going on, I'm not as upset as I could be,
No, going into yesterday's game, I think Kirk was leading the league in both yards and touchdowns.
Wow. Okay.
His interceptions were on pace with league average. It's been Madison, Butterfingers Madison, Mr. Slippery Fingers.
Huh.
But he got a little better last game, I will say. He was able to finish that game off by holding the ball and making right decisions with his runs. So
Yeah.
Sorry that
I'll give him credit on
just
that.
blaming Kirk. I'll take that back. The Monday Night Football just got done as well. Are we done talking about the Vikings?
That's all I got.
Okay. How was Monday Night Football tonight? It's been terrible for the last 3 weeks. How's week
Just
4?
as bad as it's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a great part in the game where so the game ended, I believe it was a lot for the Seahawks, very little for the Giants. And that was the official score, I believe, exactly to that point. Total, a lot versus a little. But the broadcasters showed the classic blimp over the stadium view. And they stopped to make a comment. Oh, man, traffic jam, getting out of here right now. And because everyone was
People
leaving the game in the fourth quarter.
That's not good to
There were
comment
10 minutes left on the game clock.
That's not
like,
good to
That's the
comment on.
start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Essentially.
That is not good at
No.
all.
And that's the home team who's leaving. New
Yes.
New
They
York
were like,
ticket
I'm
price
outta
is
here.
not
Fuck
cheap.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Giants were that bad.
So let's just move on from that, I suppose.
Let's get out of here.
Interesting news. Breaking news, right? Is that breaking news? Is this what?
Yeah, that's breaking, basically.
I don't know. I'm not ready for
Basically breaking news, and I got a second breaking news with that. So
Okay,
let's double break that.
So I don't have it ready. I don't have the sounder ready. Just say it.
I'm going to tap dance then
Just
about
say
the double breaking news being double your pleasure. Once you hear it, you're going to be pretty happy.
Say
and
the
pleased
breaking
with yourself
news.
that
Just
you
say
heard
it. I don't have the sounder
okay,
ready.
fine.
Just say it.
USFL and XFL are going to merge. There we go.
The USFL
XFL merger.
USFX XL. That was loud. Sorry. The XFL and the USFL merged, or are merging, or
Yes.
what's the double breaking news that you were gonna say?
It sounds like Colin Kaepernick will be trying out for the USFL XFL merger as a football player.
Colin Kaepernick, as in the
Colin Kaepernick,
quarterback.
He
the
could
XFL
could
doesn't
potentially
want to have
be.
it all, the NFL doesn't want to have it all.
Yep,
So
he could potentially be playing for them.
To catch the FuzzJockers up, if you do not know who Colin Kaepernick is, he's the quarterback that used to play for the 49ers that knelt on the field in protest to,
Police brutality.
Police brutality specifically, right? And, what happened after that. And then he got kicked off the teams, and nobody wanted him for their team on the NFL. And now he has an opportunity to play for the XFUFL.
Yeah, what are they going to call it?
XFUFL.
Yeah, is one of those The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yes.
Is he XFL or?
Yes.
Yes, he
owner?
owns the XFL.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Is he going to own the XFUFL?
I believe he is the one. He's the one who announced the merger.
Oh, okay. There you go. Ooh. I mean, that was definitely too much football. Having
Agreed.
both, right?
Agreed.
And then also college football and high school football and
I think
all the footballs.
One or both of them, they're summer leagues, right? They play like
yes,
June through
spring
August
into
or
summer.
something. Yeah. Okay.
Are they going to stay spring leagues?
It sounds like it because summer is CFL, Canadian football.
Yep, Canadian football.
Fall it's summer into fall.
Football, soccer.
Football. And then soccer's always.
That's great. You know who they should bring over? Taylor Swift.
No. Oh, yes.
So like last week we kind of brought it up a little bit about how Taylor Swift is in the news like she always is, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad at all. However, some people think it's really bad that she's in the news. And what is she in the news for? Possibly being in a relationship with a player on the Chiefs.
Right.
Travis Kelce, who is a tight end.
Yes.
So she might like his tight end. But we deciphered it last week, too, that she is actually befriending moms.
That's what we think it is.
That's what we know. She's.
I mean, that's going to be it.
She's with Donna Kelsey in the booth.
She's befriending moms, and she's like it's all about the moms.
Yep.
Right. It's like, and she's such a Taylor Swift is such a wonderful person that she's trying to let everybody know that it's all about the moms by hanging out with the moms. Travis Kelce's mom right now.
I like my mom.
I like my mom too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people don't like their moms. Some people's moms are terrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, the person that I don't know what I'm trying to say here. sea.dubbz.
I did hear that from a very reputable source of a large amount of teenagers last night at a show I was at, that Travis Kelce is actually the least hot of the Kelce brothers, and that's straight from the mouth of a teenager. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he's attractive, but all right. I guess I'm not with that opinion. I guess
it was just one opinion I heard, but then it got a round of applause from who was around.
So I do want to say, yeah, Taylor Swift has made quite an impact, though. I mean, 400% sales spike for Travis Kelce jerseys.
Viewership among teen girls aged 12 to 17 spiked 53%.
Wow. Then there's Kelsey's podcast, ranked #1 on Apple now.
Part of the audience among women aged 18 to 24 was up 24%.
Chiefs increase 3 times their sales on StubHub.
Yeah, so
I've got one.
Yeah?
The Chiefs-Jets game from yesterday, random podunk Jets, whatever. Like, it's just a stupid regular season game. 27 million viewers. It's the most since the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
Our Hest Splinter, who will be on in a couple weeks, his wife is now watching football.
Ooh.
I bet she has a lot of opinions, and I want to hear them through him.
That's what I told Splinter. I'm like, maybe we should have your wife on.
I'd like to hear more from her too.
He
Yeah,
doesn't care about football at all. From what it sounds like, she didn't care about football either until now, and she's really.
She probably cares as much as I do now.
So yeah, we'll have Splinter on to see what his wife's thoughts are on football leagues. Make sure to have your pen and papers ready for your fantasy leagues when Miss Splinter shows up. Yeah. So. Taylor Swift, once again, a phenom, a pencil pusher, a money maker, rainmaker.
The
Rainmaker. Yeah.
Taylor Swift, the rainmaker. And the right people, the not the right people, but the people on the right of things, like the Fox News people or whatever, they hate it.
See, I heard that, but I don't know why. I never got their reasoning for not liking what's going on here.
Part of it is she tweeted on voter registration day, hey, you should register to vote. And they're all like, those people are registering and they're not being Republicans. And that's the real reason they're mad.
Anyway. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, how dare they?
That's how it started. And then all of a sudden she was on the NFL games. And now they're like double mad because now she's in their football. So
we aren't a political podcast, so we like to stay away from all that. But, when something goofy's happening, it's fun to talk about.
This is goofy.
Like you heard those sound bits in the intro, and it's just like, why are you guys so angry about this? And at the same time, the biggest thing is, if you don't like something, like we didn't like Pink Slip Phil, you just stop talking about him. Yep. That's the ultimate diss. That's the ultimate way to get back at somebody, is just to stop talking about them. Don't let them, rent space in your head.
That's poetic. I love that.
Right?
Yeah. The thing that would really boil anyone's blood is if you just say, like, I don't think about that at all.
Yeah. Or a good one is when you have a teenager in the future, because you'll have teenagers, right? You have kids?
10, 12, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When they come home and they tell you that somebody's making fun of them or whatever, tell them that. Tell them just don't respond. The best way to respond, if you need to respond, is to say, okay, and then move on.
So not fists first.
No,
okay.
No fists.
Okay.
No fists first.
I'm gonna take notes for.
Just say okay and move on.
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah.
And the person that said that shit is most likely going to be like, what?
Yeah, if they can't get under your skin,
What?
then
I said something really mean to them, and they didn't respond.
Yeah.
Or they responded with a okay. Like, what the fuck? And it just blows their mind.
Yeah.
And they for the rest of the day, they don't know what's going on. But we're not a bully podcast. Bully advice. Don't take advice from me.
I heard the disclaimer.
Taylor Swift, doing great.
Go Taylor.
Doing great things. Doing good stuff. Anything else about Miss Taylor before we move on? Because I do have Breb wants to talk about some.
Ooh, I want to hear what Breb
football.
has to say.
He wants to talk about football. I think he has an update about the Dolphins.
What's a beloved regular? What's a beloved regular? What's a beloved regular?
The running input isn't that great. Please once a season. The running input isn't that great. Please once a season. Well, they call that
The longest 90 seconds of your life. Hey!
Presented by beloved regular Eric Blake here on FuzzJockRadio, a FuzzTalk Radio production. Hello, crowd. That beep means we are recording. It is I, beloved regular Eric Blake, back again for the first time. You're all looking wonderful tonight. Why don't we take our seats and we'll get started with the segment. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, hello, Fuzzy and fellow Hests. I know this segment has recently kind of gotten away from sports, so I wanted to get back on track today with a topic I think you've been wanting me to cover since it happened. The Dolphins' 70-point win over the Broncos in Week 3. Now this was a historical... Okay, crowd, what are we doing? We're booing, and you're chanting. Taylor... No, crowd, I am not going to talk about Taylor Swift. Come on now, crowd, I want you to settle down right now so we can talk about some sports. And we will talk about Taylor Swift, maybe. Okay, maybe. You know, at some point, someone has to not talk about Taylor Swift. Now, in a historic day for the Dolphins, they scored 70... You're booing again. You can't do this to me. I want to talk about sports on a sports podcast. Taylor, let me grab my other notes, okay? Let me grab my other notes. As we all know, Taylor Swift has been re-recording all of her material so that she owns the independent rights to her tracks, just like the Dolphins swiftly recorded 726 yards in Week 3. Okay, crowd. Taylor Swift was seen again at Sunday Night Football.
The longest 90 seconds of your life. Hey!
Presented by beloved regular Eric Blake here on FuzzJockRadio, a FuzzTalk Radio production.
next week on Longest 90 Seconds of Your Life. Oh my god, I think we just blew the lid off this whole thing.
And thank you, Breb. Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Spot on.
Yep.
Well said.
Well, I think we should probably check with the roulette table again to see
that
what our
wheel.
next topic should be. And I promise it's not going to be terrible. Hockey time, everyone. Hockey is coming soon to a theater near you. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be kind of cool if, like, they had hockey games?
Ooh, my delivery's here. You guys keep talking.
Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if they had hockey games in movie theaters? Like, you go to the movie theater and you get to watch a hockey game?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Mankato's doing something kind of similar with the Crooked Pint, and you could, like, sit down and have a meal and, like, watch a game, like, down below.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool. But a movie theater zone would be a neat aesthetic as well.
Yeah. Comfortable, warm. I'm not talking about like live hockey. Like I'm talking about live hockey, but on a screen.
But on a screen,
Yeah,
that you can watch.
They watch the Wild in the playoffs or something in the theater.
Yeah,
Popcorn.
The football field that the local college team plays on. They sometimes put up a big screen and like flash Wild playoff live feed through like a projector on it sometimes.
When last year or like a couple years ago, they had Hockey Minnesota,
Hockey Day,
and it was in Mankato.
Yep.
Did you go to that?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. How was that?
It was excellent, but it was like -20.
It was a really cold day. Yeah.
Yeah. I felt terrible for the players, but when we watched them get off the ice and they were just drenched in sweat, and it's like it's hard to think about how that's possible.
When you are, I don't know if you've ever been an athlete, but when you are an athlete in that type of temperature, it doesn't matter because you're moving.
Yeah, exactly.
You get that sweat going. You get the motion in the ocean, type of, if you will.
We had the best mini donuts of my life at Hockey Day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they had excellent mini donuts.
Was it because of the temperature?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Was it all relative?
They just kind of hit the spot. Yeah.
A little warm in your tummy.
Yeah, in my tummy.
Are any of you avid fans of hockey?
I go in spurts. There's like one every 3 Wild seasons. I'll catch maybe like a third of the games.
Well, did you know that the Wild preseason started yesterday, sea.dubbz?
What?
I think it was a few days ago. 2 days ago, maybe?
A couple days ago, and they won.
Ooh.
Yes.
So this should be your on season for the Wild since they won. I don't know if you know this, but since they won their first game of the preseason, that means they're going to the playoffs.
It's automatic
and taking home that Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna drink out of it with applesauce. We're gonna drink applesauce, not apple juice. Applesauce.
sea.dubbz is gonna come home for it.
Oh yeah, you have to. Yeah,
I'll sit inside of it even.
And it's cool that hockey does their playoffs and like the Stanley Cup at actual home ice, and it's not like a neutral field like football does the Super Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Did any of us watch the game? Actually, I think it was blacked out. So we'll just move on to the next roulette. Did you want to talk about anything else, hockey? No, I didn't think so.
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
So baseball is fun again in Minnesota, and speaking of playoffs, like the Wild, the Timberwolves, no, the Twins are in the playoffs. Want to talk about that a little bit, sea.dubbz?
They are in the wild card, and they will be hosting, because they're the higher seed, the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow at, I believe, 3 p.m. Central. So tune in and watch the Twins win their first playoff game in over 20 years.
That's gonna
be
awesome. I'm really excited for that.
20 years, is that true? Is that a game or a series?
We have not won a playoff game.
A game in 20 years.
20 years.
Wow.
It's bad.
Fun fact about the Twins this year. Our hitters have the most strikeouts in the majors this year at 1,654, which is actually the most strikeouts by any team ever. It set the record.
I would say part of that is because we had Joey Gallo, who struck out 600 times himself.
Yeah,
so.
I know. He actually struck out more times than he had at-bats.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I believe that to be true, 100% true. So, yeah, that's why. It's okay, though. I mean, they had a lot of dingers otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, AL Central must have just been super weak if we could have the most strikeouts by any team ever and still handedly take the division. I mean, it got kind of close with the Guardians at the end there, but...
Ooh, yeah, but then they fell off.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you were following along with this. Do you remember the fun Twin season 2019, the Bomba Squad, Nelson Cruz, Max Kepler, like all the folks?
Yes, I do. I have a personalized jersey that says my name and 19 for the year of 2019.
There we go. What's that phrase? Let's get gomped or whatever. I don't know if you remember. Does that sound familiar at all to you or no?
It's something like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it, but we set the home run record that year, and it was tied by the Braves at 307. And the Braves
but they didn't break it.
What's that?
They didn't break it though.
No, we share it now. So they still can't say that they have the record.
That's
they
such
at least
a
have
nice
to say
thing
they share it.
to share a record with another team. I mean, like that's a Minnesota thing to do.
I do think it should get a little bit of an asterisk though, because in 2019 we had to play, I believe, 10 interleague games. So we had our pitchers batting, and Braves got to bat all year this year with a DH. So if I'm trying to squeeze a little bit of something out of this for the Twins to have an advantage, I'll do that.
No, that's good.
I believe 2019 was also the mixture of the juiced and non-juiced balls.
You're right.
So there wasn't even a full juice season that year.
Yep.
Oh man,
if I remember right.
FuzzJocker, if you don't know what we're talking about, there's past episodes we talked about juiced balls, and you should check it out.
Mm-hmm. Fun fact about the Braves too: Eddie Rosario was on both teams, 2019 Twins and 2023 Braves.
So his him.
And he helped them win the World Series when the Braves won a few years ago.
Good for him. I always liked him. He was excellent. He was fun.
Absolutely. Kind of like Arise. I liked Arise a lot too.
Back-to-back AL NL batting champs.
Did he
Never
get
happened
it?
before. Yep.
Arise got the never happened before.
Nope, not back-to-back.
And
with
we
two different
got
leagues.
rid of him.
Yeah. But we got Pablo Lopez from it, and he's going to be starting game 1 tomorrow.
So sea.dubbz. I have an idea. We all love Arise. We all love Rosario. There's other we all loved Adam Thielen from the Vikings. We were following a guy, Andrew Wiggins, for a while from the Timberwolves. I think we should have a new segment where we follow, follow our buddies that have left the team.
I like it.
And see how they're doing.
I think that's a good idea because we've got a couple world champions, that used to be on our teams, so we could follow up on those and
we can
see how they're doing for those who aren't. See the progress of the years they've had
their
since.
Celebrations. Like Luis Arise got the what was it again?
Batting title.
Got the batting title second time in a row. And I think we should be able to celebrate that with him.
No, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, good for him.
Good.
Agreed.
Okay. So look forward to. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but
I think I got an idea.
What?
Bunch of footsteps. And then it goes, who are we following today? There you go. There's the whole segment.
And is that what is that the segment name? Who are we following today?
Yeah, who are we following today? And we'll pick a new person every time.
Maybe we can workshop that in a little bit.
We'll figure it out. We'll ask Barney or Bruce or whatever that thing's name is.
Not ready for this yet. Let me double check my notes. I found my notebook.
Look what you
by the
found.
way. Nope, I'm not ready for that yet. Okay, so anything else baseball wise? We're in the wild card.
Yep.
First game.
Yep. 3:30 tomorrow.
Playoffs. Donald. I don't want to talk about Donaldson, but like Donaldson was doing something goofy. Oh, I wanted to bring up Donaldson because he went into his new locker room and was surprised that nobody knew who he was.
Oh, is that main character syndrome or what is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of anybody, he definitely would have it. Not narcissism, like it's totally something different than he's just like, oh.
And then the camera's following him, but really it's following because it's just trying to get in the locker room. It has nothing to do with him being there. It just happens to be behind him.
Phil Nevin is out as Angels manager. Fired.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, wasting Shohei and Trout's potential.
Okay. Okay.
He's out. Is Shohei even in the United States right now?
No,
he went to Japan.
He went home.
He went home
like
a
early.
while ago,
yeah,
right?
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
he went home the first episode.
Okay. Yeah. Was that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's just like, all right, I'm out.
They put him on IR, so he was like, fuck this.
We had a question about that, Dan. Fantastic Dan.
Yes.
Do you think that Shohei knows what team he's going to be on already?
No.
No?
Nope.
You don't think that decision's been made?
Nope, I don't. Whatever contract he signs, which I don't think is going to be with the Angels, so he's got 29 other teams to pick from, but it's going to be the biggest in history probably by a wide margin. I don't know if Giancarlo Stanton still holds that, or maybe it's somebody new, like from the Padres or something. But no, I think Shohei's going to shop around.
Okay. Basketball time?
Let's do it. Buh.
FuzzJockRadio.
The NBA theme, here's an idea. It goes like this.
FuzzJockRadio.
Timberwolves, unlike the Wild, have not started yet. They start on regular season starts October 24th. Oh, maybe they started their. Did they start their preseason? Maybe
they've started camp. I know, but I don't know about a game.
Remember last year, J-Mez and I and Splinter went to one of their pre-camp things up at the Target Center, and that was really fun.
That was cool. Yeah,
I had a good time. I wish we would have done that again, but we didn't.
I went to a game last year.
The first preseason game's on the 5th.
Okay. So
there you go.
From today is the 4th. So
Second.
today is the 2nd. What calendar am I looking at?
August? No, September's.
Oh, is that September still? Okay. It does say August,
September 2019. Weird.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where I'm in.
You didn't even live in that house at that time.
I don't know where I'm in.
Anyway,
I was walking by this house at that time. I remember before
That's
I bought
true.
this house, I was walking by it every night. I'd walk by it, just to go on a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Walk by it. And then one day I decided to go into the backyard and see if any of the doors were unlocked, and the basement door was unlocked.
Ooh.
And so I went down there and I hung out for about an hour in the basement.
and he's still down there to this day.
Anyway, do we have any other basketball? Since the Lynx are done for the season, right? We don't need to talk about the Lynx anymore right now. Not until they're back. What do we have left? Let's check out the roulette. See what it comes up with. That's ready to go to other sports. Ping pong, for sure.
Is pickleball skiing?
What is the highest level of car racing called?
Curling.
Other sports? Acro yoga?
Agro yoga?
Acro, like acrobatic.
It is a fusion of tennis, ping pong, and badminton.
What sport starts with a tip-off?
Basketball.
Nope, incorrect. Other sports.
It's a very social game.
Fight each other to the death.
Like NFTs or something.
You have to hit the ball.
Other sports topics.
So are there multiple major leagues?
I went to a soccer game in Dallas, in Paris, in California, in England.
Go up to a soccer game and be in the supporter section.
Teach them how to play pickleball.
Why not?
Free lessons when I come up.
How many clubs can a golfer have in their bag?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. Might as well tune out now because I don't have another sports button yet. Okay, so the roulette picked other sports topics, which includes, like we just heard, and then also AEW. Do you watch any pro wrestling, Dan?
I wish I did. A good buddy of mine does. Super into it. Went
Like,
to
as in-
train in Canada and stuff.
Like us.
But
You mean us, right?
yeah, exactly.
You have a buddy that trained in Canada
I
for
believe
wrestling?
it was Canada. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but yeah, Jack. I don't know if I would name drop him, but you guys know Jack?
Jack Dog? Jack.
Buckholz.
Yeah.
Oh.
Noodles Rewards.
Yeah.
You know Jack?
Yeah. Jack is in my fantasy league. I know Jack real well. He's a good buddy of mine.
Is that the Chicago Jack?
Yep.
Yes,
not the
Mr.
Ducks?
Taffy Machine.
Yep.
Oh, I know Jack.
Yeah.
And C-Dubs knows Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the group that we're in.
He's in the group. He's in the group, guys. And he trained?
Yeah, he did something, like an ex-professional wrestler.
For
like
real?
walked him through some camp. Yeah, Jack was at my house 4 Saturdays ago.
This is blowing my mind. I had no idea you guys had that connection. C-Dubs, did you know that we
That's-
had that connection with Surprising Dan?
I did, and I think because he was an ex-wrestler, or at least trained for wrestling, I believe that's why they put him on AEW television doing the scissoring bit with his wife. Or girl, whatever.
Yeah, did you know that he was on
Remember that?
television?
I have no idea what you're talking
That's
about.
why he was on television, because he had the connection to the wrestling?
Remember when our picture used to be the scissoring of the hands?
Yeah.
That was his hands
I know,
on AEW television.
I know that, but I didn't know
Yeah,
that
that
he
was-
had a connection to AEW, and that's why they
Oh,
had him
I
on
mean,
there.
I can only imagine they know everything in every wrestler, so they must have known he was one of them and locked in on him.
Did he? Oh man, this is just mind blowing.
He probably has a
wonderful. I didn't hear
contract we
that
don't
about
even know
him.
about.
Oh, cool.
So you need to get into pro wrestling, specifically AEW, all elite wrestling.
In solidarity for Jack. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
And also for the enjoyment of good adult entertainment.
Right. No, I love the idea of it. I don't know how to watch it besides means that are frowned upon. I was really into like D-Generation X, like back, 20 years ago.
Do you know Billy Gunn?
Yeah, of course.
He's big. He's a big part of the scissoring in AEW.
There you go. Okay,
Yep.
it's all coming full
He's
circle.
called Daddy Ass.
They call him Mr. Daddy Ass.
Okay.
And he likes to scissor with the Acclaimed.
There you go. Yeah.
And then his sons are also in AEW, and they're called the Ass Boys.
The Ass Boys. Oh,
And
I
they-
love
Well,
wrestling.
no, they're not called the Ass Boys.
They're called the Ass Boys, and they hate it. They
So-
hate it. Like they come out, and the audience goes, "Ass Boys, Ass Boys," and they get so mad. They got so mad that they got mad at their dad, Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, and they hate him. They hate their dad. And
They beat him up.
It's good entertainment.
Oh, well, there you go.
They're actually called the Gun Club.
yeah,
and
they're
they're part of
the
the
Gun
Bang Bang Gang.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Bullet
And
Club Gold.
I was always an X-Pac guy.
they
Oh, dude. Now, X-Pac and Mick Foley, those are my two favorites.
Those are your
growing up.
two? Oh, yeah. I read Mick Foley's autobiography, the X-Pac. He did the X thing.
Yep.
He's always famous for.
X-Pac.
so
X-Pac was the first indie show I ever went to, was to see one of his last matches ever here out in L.A.
That's awesome.
So
Yep. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
and that got me into loving GCW, an indie league that I really like.
Oh,
so now I go
cool.
to all the GCW shows, all because I went to an X-Pac show, and now I'm like, hey, this shit rules. And I go
That's
all the
excellent.
time
I love that. Cool.
now. Yep.
So you have consumed male burlesque in the past.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it was the Attitude Era that you
Yes.
were really into, which a lot of people are into.
Yep.
And just to say, a lot of people say that AEW reminds them of the Attitude Era.
It's
of
like a back to the
WWE.
roots kind of thing.
100%.
Okay.
To the point where they include in storylines the indie promotions.
Okay.
Like it's not unlike WWE where it's just WWE and they don't talk about any other wrestling business. AEW works with the indies.
It's like cross-promotional type.
100% to the point where last Sunday, yesterday, they had a cross-promotion pay-per-view with the indie wrestling from Japan called New Japan Wrestling.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
that's not
All right.
indie, but
Excellent.
I mean, it's compared to WWE, like in this example. Sure. Everybody is indie compared to the company that's working with them. In my mind, right now, that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
But
yeah,
New Japan
opened the Forbidden Door.
They had a pay-per-view called the Forbidden Door.
Okay.
Where that's where it all started. They okay, we're gonna open up the Forbidden Door, and all they work with GCW wrestlers, New Japan wrestlers, with
Impact,
and they don't act like they're the only wrestling promotion, and it's really awesome.
Oh, I love that. That's cool.
And Ring of Honor.
There was a lot of weird competitiveness back in the day with like the WWF and WWE. Oh, WWF. Was that Attitude Era?
WCW.
F?
WWF and WCW back then.
Okay.
I mean, Vince didn't want another promotion.
And there were like separate video games too for the
Mm-hmm.
two. Like they were just button heads all the time.
Yeah.
They were
Kevin
owned by
Nash.
two different owners.
Yeah.
It was
Turner.
Ted Turner and Vince McMahon. And once
McMahon.
Ted Turner couldn't get his executives to like it anymore, they got it off television. So thus Vince bought it and burned it to the ground.
There you go. There you go, Vince.
And so far with AEW, unlike WWE, where there will be times where you'll hear that Raw was just horrible.
Yeah.
There hasn't, since AEW's been around for 4 years now, starting on Wednesday, they're having their 4-year anniversary of one of their shows. There hasn't been one episode that has been bad.
It's just
I can't think of a single.
There's maybe
single
a
one.
couple that have maybe been not as good as other ones, but nothing that where people walk away and they're like, oh man, that was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I know that WWE has a lot more time on their hands compared to 4 years. But for a brand new company and Tony Khan is the owner, for him to only be a fan before this is just something else, and something
just
for
keep
people
putting
to
out bangers, huh?
Yeah, 100%. And Sunday's Wrestle Dream was a banger once again.
What's AEW
Absolutely.
stand for?
All Elite Wrestling.
All Elite. Oh, I like that too. That's okay. All right.
A couple of the co-founders or the EVPs, the executive vice presidents, are the Young Bucks, and they call their faction the Elite.
Okay.
Right, and that's how that goes. And then and one of those people in the faction is one of the best wrestlers in history, Kenny Omega.
I've heard of Kenny Omega.
And oh my goodness, when you go home, look up some Kenny Omega bouts. Well, that would be a good Kenny Omega bout.
Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Was that last year? That was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This January?
Or
was that last January? I don't remember. It was the
but
best match I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just amazing. So definitely check him out. Check out AEW.
Kenny Omega.
I have a way for you to watch it, as you probably saw in the... No, are you part of the group?
Which one?
The AEW group that I have on Discord?
No.
I'll get you part of that, and you can start watching stuff with us.
Throw me in. Love it.
Breaking news. Oh, this was one of the breaking news setups. Here, let me do the breaking news here. Now I got it loaded here. Breaking news. Kayfabe is now a word in the dictionary.
Congratulations.
That's how I like to use that soundbite. You see how I said that in between? Right in the between? Yeah. So yeah, kayfabe is now a word in the dictionary. Do you know what kayfabe means, guys? Look it up in the dictionary.
I do, but do you know what kayfabe means, Dan?
I'm pretty sure I know what kayfabe means.
I know what kayfabe means, too.
So why don't you go
So should we not tell anyone? Keep it a secret?
Well,
make them look it up in the
no,
dictionary?
that's mean. That's mean.
So-
I mean, they might not have the updated dictionary yet.
Can I give my best guess?
Yeah.
Is that where some sort of performance is passed off as real when it's actually scripted?
100%.
Okay.
That's
okay.
exactly.
Good job.
That's exactly it.
Okay. Excellent.
And then
It's essentially the world of disbelief. Like you know it's scripted, but you're believing that it's not. So you disbelieve the fact that it's scripted and believe it's authentic.
Okay. Ooh, I like it's got some layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's cool.
Because even if you're like, oh, that guy's hurt, you know he's not, but he could be, and maybe he is, but you know he's not because you know how to tell if they're hurt.
What's the origin of kayfabe?
You'll have to look it up in the dictionary, I think.
That's a good question.
Do you think they'll have?
I bet that's from the old days.
You think they'll have the origin in there?
Maybe, because that's from the old code. Like, kayfabe was code, because you couldn't say that wrestling was, predetermined back in the day.
Was it code
Could not
amongst
say that.
fans?
No, it was code amongst the wrestlers.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You couldn't break kayfabe.
Sure.
That's what it was.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Is that actually that breaking news is not BS though? That's in the dictionary now?
No, it's going to be in the dictionary now.
Okay.
Correct.
So they broke kayfabe then, is what you're
Yeah, they broke it by adding it, right?
And then
I was going to jokingly say when I saw it posted that, was that real or not? I was going to be like, is this real? I don't know if this is real.
It sounds like it's real. I am looking up the next section, so keep on talking, guys.
Another thing, we can talk about wrestling in 1 second, but another thing of other sports.
Mm-hmm.
You guys may have already touched on this, but the PWHL, did you guys talk about that in any previous episode or
No.
PWHL, Professional Women's Hockey League. It's going to debut next year. It's brand new. Starting with 6 teams. There's going to be 3 in the U.S., 3 in Canada. Minnesota has one of those teams, which is kind of cool. They're expected to play in the XL. Funnily enough, though, they announced this. They did the draft. Minnesota had first pick, actually. They drafted a woman named Taylor Heiss. But there's no colors or logo or team name yet. That's yet to be determined.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man, wouldn't that be cool to have a colorless logo?
Whoa.
Yeah.
And no logo?
Kind of interesting, yeah.
Absence of color and logo. And their team is just the Minnesota Professional Women's Hockey team from Minnesota.
Yeah, we're not saying like,
Ooh, I like that.
It's not white or black either. It's just
Absence of color.
Absence of color.
Right, yeah. Like black hole.
It's those
like,
reflective. It's that reflective clothing that when you take a picture of it, it's bright and you can't see it. But when you look at it, it's just gray.
That and also the vignetta or the darkest black that you can ever get. Both of those combined. Both of those combined.
Yes.
Like
that flying around on a hockey rink.
That would be amazing. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah, good for them. I like the exposure. It's cool that they're. I think it's probably. It's not attributed to this, but the new college rules where you can profit off of your name brand now. Where I think that now it gives those who were playing in college an avenue to keep succeeding in their career because it's more lucrative to play in college now.
Yeah.
And women's hockey didn't really have that avenue before. Or if it did, it was not nearly going to get the popularity or exposure that it has now.
Right.
And so this is going to be professional.
Yep, professional.
Not indie.
Right.
Unlike I was getting wrong. What's the difference between professional and indie? I was going to call you Splinter, but you're sea.dubbz.
Well, indie means independent. Professional, just means you're professionally doing it. But I think what you mean is like an indie wrestling means it's independent of some other thing, as where like AEW, WWF are owned by other. They're a thing, but they run with other entities.
So would
like,
XFL and USFL would that be indie? Would you call those indie football leagues?
No, because they run with ABC or NBC. Like that. That's the. They're not independent that they can go wherever they want.
Okay,
they're still partnered with these things.
So,
indie means I can do anything because I'm independent. I can work with any company. But if you're AEW, you can only work with Turner. If you're WWF, you can only work with.
What you're saying is to be independent, you're independent to anybody else, and if you're a professional, you're working with other companies.
Okay. All right. Boiled down.
You're beholden.
Well, you're still professional either way.
You're
but yes.
beholden to other companies. Indie. Well, that's what we're like. Is Moondogs indie or professional?
They're professional, but they're an indie league.
But it's an indie league.
Professional
because
indie.
professional is not the word that should be being used. I can't think of what we're trying to use professional for. It's like major league or something. I don't know.
This where the English language doesn't do well?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I had a fuzz question of the week, by the way, guys. Should we do that?
Ooh. Let's do it.
Don't ooh me. Don't ooh me like it.
I will ooh and ah you all I want.
No, don't do that.
We all know what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz Question of the Week.
Okay, so this is the fuzz question of the week. This is when I ask the question, and then I answer the question with This is when I ask questions. No, just one question, and then the Hess answer the question with a answer. And when I'm reading this question right now, and we don't move, and then we just move on. We don't talk about it. We don't extrapolate. We just move on from the. We don't talk about why they think it's an opinion answer, whatever. Okay, you get it? Understand?
Got it.
Okay. And when I reread this question, I'm not putting it in this right spot of the. Like I looked at it earlier, and I'm like, man, this is not the right spot to ask it. But now, and I don't like it. I thought when I thought of this question, I thought it was really awesome, but I don't like it. So here we go. When in wrestling, when they show the wrestler watching the TV of the events going on in the ring, are they really watching the TV, or are they really? Is the TV actually on and they're actually watching the program, or are they kayfabing it? sea.dubbz.
Depends.
And Fantastic Dan.
Yes, they are watching it real time.
And that was your
Fuzz Question of the Week.
Wow, that was like the best one that I'd done there. So that was the fuzz question of the week. Before we move on to fuzzy memory trivia, was there anything else that we forgot to talk about?
We could say Cliff news.
Oh, Cliff!
Or do you want to hold on?
Cliff did show up on AEW. Do you remember a tag team called Edge and Christian?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Christian has been on AEW for quite some time now. Maybe a full
3 years?
Huh?
Maybe 3 years?
2 years. I would say.
Was it?
Out
it was
out of the 4
Oh,
years.
you're right. It was during the pandemic.
2 years, I would think.
Yeah, at least 2.
Because it's only been 4 years. So he came in and fucking worked everybody and fucking killed it. And his slogan when he came in, he was at first, "I work everyone." No, I work harder.
Outwork everyone.
Outwork everyone. And then
he was a good guy.
And he was a good guy. And then he flipped the script and became a bad guy.
Ooh.
Stole somebody's dinosaur and made it his own dinosaur.
Okay.
And named Luchasaurus, and rides around on this Luchasaurus guy and became the most evil heel in wrestling.
Okay.
And his slogan became "Worked everyone."
Worked everyone.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
It was great.
Okay. Yeah.
And
And all of what Fuzzy just said is correct in how you should exactly describe what he did. Because
And-
those are the correct words and what happened in wrestling.
And then since he had a dinosaur on his side, he went and had the dinosaur win the TV belt, the TBS belt, and so then
TNT.
or the TNT belt, and so then Luchasaurus, the dinosaur, had the TNT belt, which Christian Cage carried around and said it was his. And since Luchasaurus is a dinosaur and can't talk, couldn't complain, and he was just his best friend and let Christian Cage hang out on a dinosaur's shoulders, like riding on a dinosaur's shoulders, holding the TNT belt above his head like it was his for months, and kept on correcting people saying, "No, it's mine."
What does this dinosaur look like?
He has
Dinosaur?
a dinosaur like
Barney?
horns, red, like evil,
Okay.
like fire breathing dinosaur type of thing.
Classic dinosaur. Okay.
But then he
then
he won the belt from the dinosaur.
Actually won it from the dinosaur in a trios match.
Okay.
Where there was somebody else, and then it was Christian Cage and the dinosaur. So of course the other somebody else is going to lose, and then Christian ended up pinning the dinosaur because he was knocked out and
What a
won
saga.
the belt. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
And now at Wrestle Dream, his friend Edge showed up, and since WWE owns Edge's name, came in, and his name is Cliff.
Oh, all right.
Not really.
Cliff.
But
Not really. We call him Cliff.
We named him Cliff because of Edge. But Edge showed up on, what's his name? Adam
Copeland.
Adam Copeland, which probably is actually his real name, but
That's his wrestler name, though? That's what he goes by?
That's what he's going by now.
Okay.
Yeah,
He just
it's
showed
his real name, but also his wrestling name.
Cliff is better. Let's have him go by Cliff.
Up until about 2 months ago, Cliff, or Edge, was working for WWE and had a belt for a while and stuff like that. And then his contract came up, and everyone was thinking, "Oh man, he's going to show up because Christian is here." And sure enough, 2 months later or so, a month later, he showed up on last night.
Oh, and it was not anticipated. Well, I mean, people thought that maybe he will show up.
Yeah, but they kept it pretty secret.
Okay.
And pretty good at keeping it secret. So, yeah, now Edge and Christian are back together. I mean, not back together, but they're. So he showed up and he's like, "Hey, Christian, what you doing?" And Christian's like, "What the fuck do you want?" And then Edge ended up going with the other faction against Christian. So here we go. Edge and Christian are going to be mad at each other. They're not going to be
the Edge
tag
and
teams.
Christian thing. Yeah, that brings me back too. It's like Hardy Boys, like
Hardy
the tag
Boy-
team.
They are
They're
part of
they're
AEW.
also.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
This is
Jeff
sounding better
and
and
Matt
better.
are together.
Yeah. Okay, this is excellent.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Well,
It's a
and then the
wonderful thing.
group that Edge joined is a new wrestler named Darby Allin, who's my favorite. He's the modern day Mick Foley. But the other guy in that faction is Sting.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
The Sting.
You
yes.
guys are doing great.
I mean,
at selling
it's all
AEW.
good, man. It's all good.
And Sting actually, at his old age, wrestles, and he wrestles well.
Mm-hmm.
RVD showed up.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Rob Van Dam.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes me. This is bringing in so many names.
And then all the wrestlers, homegrown wrestlers for AEW, like this, like we're telling you about wrestlers that came from WWE to AEW. 100% the homegrown wrestlers and the wrestlers that weren't from WWE are the ones that are actually fully making the program. So seeing these guys and being really excited about these WWE wrestlers part of it, and because they're really good, the people that made AEW are even better than those guys, I would say.
So it's
or
cool
on
for
par. So it's like, it's great.
They've got a couple different crowds that their demographics. They've got the nostalgic demographic, and then like the new.
Yeah, it's like when I was throwing shows back in the day where I'd have a punk band, a hip hop band, and a solo artist. Just to have all genres, have everybody.
Is Daniel Bryan still a thing?
So last night, that guy put on. His name is Bryan Danielson. And he put on one of the best matches I've ever seen against a guy from New Japan called Zack Sabre Jr.
Dude,
he is still wrestling and well,
that match
really well.
Was amazing last night.
So he had a health thing for a while, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And
was that
from it.
kayfabe or was that
No, that was real.
That was real. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't heard about him for a very long time, and he's the yes guy, right?
Yeah.
He's
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. I used to watch WrestleMania with Jack Buckles when I lived in the cities, and that was when Daniel Bryan was huge. And he was, I mean, whenever I watched it with him, I was a big Daniel. Well, he used to be Daniel Bryan, right? But now he goes by Bryan Danielson.
Right, and his real name's Bryan Danielson, so he goes by his real name now.
Okay. I wasn't crazy, so that makes sense.
Nope, you were correct.
John Moxley's part of it. I don't know what he went
was
by.
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose.
Oh,
back
Dean
in the
Ambrose.
Day.
Yep.
And he's fucking killing it. The thing that between that's really different between, other than the owners, like Tony Khan, the owner, is like the exact opposite of Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is wild, and with that comes the creativity that AEW allows the wrestlers to have, where the wrestlers are able to make their own storylines and are able to work with the people that they want to work with, unlike WWE, where the storylines are written by people and the wrestlers are told what they have to do.
So there's more freedom.
100%.
We're also bearing the lead here.
What's
Chris
that?
Jericho is one of the biggest names in AEW.
This is
like one of my favorite
2006.
wrestlers also.
Yeah, that's wonderful. There was Eddie Guerrero is dead, right? Okay, I'm just going through all the names that I knew back in the day. He is dead. Chris Benoit, dead.
Passed away.
The guy who fell from the rafters.
Mick Foley?
No, it was
you're talking Owen Hart. Owen
Hart.
His family is acknowledging wrestling again because of AEW. They used to never acknowledge wrestling. Now they're back because of how good AEW is. They have an Owen Hart tournament every year.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes about how good it is. I'm sure it's
correct.
Painful at the time.
How about this? Have you ever heard of a name, CM Punk?
Punk. Yep.
Guess what?
Is he in AEW?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because he showed up. Everybody was really excited to have him show up, and he, in real life, showed his true colors and was a piece of fucking shit.
I know this story. Yeah, I know this. Yeah. I heard about what was going on with CM Punk.
And then he ended up being kicked out because he threatened the owner's life.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
he got in two legitimate fights.
Not kayfabe fights.
Not kayfabe fights.
Not kayfabe.
And fights that were just like, what the fuck, dude? He just like went off hinge. And
was this filmed?
No, unfortunately not. But as if you hearing the stories and putting two and two together, like that things weren't like made up.
Yeah.
Because if they were made up, people would be talking about it on Twitter. They'd be pushing the agenda more. It was to the point where he was like, I in my mind saw him saying things to try to goad on the other people in the playing, because I think that there was probably lawsuits involved behind the scenes that people weren't supposed to talk about, because some of the main players weren't talking about any of it at all. But he kept on bringing things up, and it was just bad. It was just a bad look, a really bad look.
Kept digging his own hole.
It got to the point where the owner came out and told in front of the Chicago audience where CM Punk is from, told the audience that he's not going to be part of this company anymore, because in his entire existence of going to wrestling shows, he's a huge fan. The owner, Tony Khan, he's been to many wrestling shows during his life, and this was the first time he said that it felt life-threatening.
Oh wow, okay.
Because CM Punk went off hinge, and things were thrown, TVs were knocked over, stuff like that. So ended up being was really exciting to have him back, because he's a big name and a big player, but he totally went that route of being very narcissistic, and you could tell that they were going to Chicago because of him, and he was taking things over, and it was really weird. It felt weird because I started watching AEW, because of the quitting drinking and having something to do instead of going to the bar. And it just really sucked to have somebody come in and try to take something away from me that it wasn't what it was.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's that.
No more pink slip Phil.
No, so we call him Pink Slip Phil.
That's what you... Okay, all right. Yeah, I caught on before.
Because his name is... shoot name is Phil, and he got the pink slip. You ready for some fuzzy memory trivia?
I'm ready.
Do I have it up? I don't even have it ready. I don't have it ready, guys. This new system is not working.
Move on. Just kidding.
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah. Memory. Trivia.
This is when I ask the Hess questions, and they answer the question with a correct or wrong answer. Unlike fuzzy memory or fuzzy question of the week, there are correct answers and incorrect answers. What am I trying to do here? Did I close that? No, I didn't. Well, we got rid of sea.dubbz there for a second. Hold on, Dan. Questioning Dan.
Trying to get rid of me?
No.
So I don't read your screen right now.
Don't read my screen.
Okay.
Can you read it from there?
Yeah, but I won't.
Don't, please.
Take your glasses off.
Ooh, good call, actually. Yeah, I'll do that. No, I'll prove it. Yeah.
Do we know the score? I forgot the score. Where's my notebook? I lost my notebook now.
Isn't it 4-4?
Is it 4-4? I think it's...
Well, we didn't have the notebook last time.
And Jameis can't get it. Well, no, Jameis got a bunch of points last week. I'm surprised
we started with
he's not
2-0. I don't know.
He got a bunch
Maybe
of points last week. I remember. I don't know. Okay, so Dan here is going to...
We'll start with 0-0.
Dan, glassless Dan.
Yeah. I want to prove I can't read.
Okay. In which year were the first modern Olympics held? Wow.
Year 1.
Incorrect.
Modern Olympics, I'll go 1906.
1896. My house.
Close.
My house. Quick tip. My house is older than that.
Wow.
Which NFL team won Super Bowl 50? Denver Broncos.
Los Angeles Rams.
Who holds the men's record for the most Grand Slam tennis titles?
Rafael Nadal.
Roger Federer. Which country hosted the 2018 FIFA World Cup?
Tokyo.
Russia.
Russia is correct. In golf, what term is used to describe a score of 3 under par?
Albatross.
For a hole? Albatross is correct. What's the other word?
I don't know.
Double eagle.
Birdie.
Who is the all-time leading scorer in NBA history?
LeBron James.
Correct. Which female gymnast won 5 gold medals in the 2016 Rio Olympics?
Simone Biles.
Correct. In which sport would you perform a Fosbury flop?
I don't know.
High jump. Which national rugby team is known as the All Blacks? New Zealand.
Russia.
Which Formula One driver won the World Championship 7 times, tying the Michael Schumer's record by 2020?
Michael Schumer the second.
And that was Lewis Hamilton and Fuzzy Memory Trivia.
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah.
So I would write down the score, but somehow in this time I have lost my notebook again.
It's all good.
Seriously, don't know where
I'll
it went.
remember that I had 3.
Yeah, I know you will. James won't remember, and Dan might not be here next week.
Whenever you want to ask me back, I will likely say yes.
Okay, I like that. I like that idea. Was there, before we move on to the end of the episode, was there anything that we forgot or missed out, or something you guys want to interlude?
You know, I did want to mention Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. The concert that she did just recently is going to be coming to theaters soon. So, you know, just some news about theaters and Taylor Swift I wanted to drop there.
That's pretty interesting.
I've got some random sports facts. This will take like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Do we have that time?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Okay. Yesterday, Alvin Kamara came back from being suspended.
Okay.
He set a weird record when he came back. He caught 13 passes for 35 yards. That was a record because the least amount of yards by still catching 13 passes was 75. So he broke the record by under half, which was kind of interesting. Texans, CJ Stroud is doing amazing. And they won their first home game since December of 2021. So almost 2 years they went without a win in a home game. Also, Bears, really bad. They haven't won a game it'll be a year in 3 weeks. They're on an almost 365-day losing streak.
Okay.
What else? The Bengals are bad. The Broncos are bad. Have you guys ever heard about the bathroom thing with Russell Wilson or no?
No.
You guys
No,
know
what's
Russell,
this?
You guys know Russell Wilson?
Yeah, we know him.
Yes.
He was hanging out on the backyard last week.
So-
Had a hot dog and
He had a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. He now he's the quarterback for the Broncos. He got last year was his first year with the Broncos. There was a thing about he bought a brand new house in Denver and he had 12 bathrooms in that house. And when he really started to suck last year, there was a thing where it was how long will it take him to throw as many touchdown passes as he has bathrooms in his house? And last year, it took him to week 16 to tie it before he threw his 12th touchdown pass. And this year he has 9. So he's on better pace, but he still has not thrown as many touchdowns as he has bathrooms in his house.
Okay.
I like that.
Lions and Bucks were flexed to 3:30 p.m. CST for Week 6. That should be a good game. That might be it. I don't know. We play the Blue Jays. The game 2 is going to be started by Jose Barrios, so that'll be hopefully not a revenge tour
who
game.
plays for the Blue Jays? That's right.
That's probably all. Oh, Ronald Acuna, 40-70 club. He got it, first player ever. That's 40 stolen bases. No, it's 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases.
40 home runs, 70 stolen bases.
Okay.
So that was cool. He's the first player ever to do that.
Good for him.
And then, I don't know if we talked about this, but Wild Hockey actual season starts on the 12th.
On the 12th.
So we talked about basketball. That starts on like the 20-something. But yeah, the Wild Hockey starts the 12th. We play the Panthers. Nice. Panthers just lost the Stanley Cup in 5 games.
Fun game.
So that'll be a fun game. We'll see how we do there. That's pretty much all I got, I think.
Okay.
Anything of interest?
And that was Knowledgeable Dan's Facts.
Hooray.
Maybe a new segment on
FuzzJock.
Future
segment.
So,
Current segment.
Yeah. So I need, yeah. I like it. I like it. Anything else, guys?
I'm golden.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well,
I got the show I got to finish, but other than that, that's okay.
So, we're at the end of the show now. This is when we talk about what we have going on the rest of the week. And that's sea.dubbz. How's your week looking?
Postseason all week, and then in the weekend it comes to my home, and then I get to be a part of the postseason, and I'm gonna watch it this week against the Twins, and they're gonna win, and then the Dodgers are gonna win, and then eventually Dodgers Twins World Series. Here we go.
So your week consists of postseason.
I'm just gonna watch all the postseason games. That's all I'm
Twins, baseball postseason particularly. Right?
Yeah. If there's any other postseasons, I'll watch those too. Oh yeah, Lynx postseasons go, or WNBA's going on. I'll probably watch the championship.
There might be a
too.
postseason for something else too, like
I'll have to look into
Caroline
more postseasons.
Spike ball.
Oh, I was gonna say Caroline in the City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dan.
I don't work tomorrow. I don't work every other Tuesday. I was debating going to Target Field tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. Get in price is $10, which is wild for playoff baseball. Yeah. And Target Field, you just kind of pay the get in price and walk around and find yourself a good seat.
Been there, done that.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah, that's how we usually do it. And then we'll sit at that Budweiser overhang thing that's over there, and just because those seats are free to everybody. So might do that 3:30 game. We'll see how I feel. But then I'm at US Bank on Sunday. I'll either get to watch the Vikings.
I want to go with you.
Won these tickets in bingo. I shouldn't even be going. So I'll either get to watch the Vikings have the most unbelievable underdog story ever, or get probably the biggest beatdown that Kirk Cousins has ever received by Patrick Mahomes. That's about it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Buzz, what about you?
I might be in the same building of Taylor Swift, though, so I just want to throw that out there, too. So.
Oh, boy.
Good point.
Yeah, she might be there. We're hoping.
Me? I don't know. I'm just going to do stuff.
FuzzJockRadio.
I don't know if I could do that in front of my husband's mom.
The question is, what will break his heart first?
The nerves is where it's at.
This is going to be a bad thing for him. She's been on social media a lot. Now you're thinking, okay, so we all have to register to vote. We're all suddenly Democrats.
She yells the F-bomb.
I think the commissioner set this up.
His new relationship with Taylor Swift or the COVID shot?
She's going to dump him anyway. Has a mouth like a teamster. That's it. Either way.
Kelsey said that everybody in the booth that she was sitting in, his family, everybody said that she was so lovely.
Here you have Taylor Swift. Probably just met Travis Kelce's mom for the first time.
Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to support, head on over to our shop, fuzztalkshop.com. That's FuzzTalkShop.com. Buy yourself a hoodie or t-shirt. We even have mugs and stickers. From all of us over at Fuzz Talk Radio, we appreciate your support.